പ്രിയമുള്ളവരെ, ഞാനിപ്പോ കാശ്മീരിന്റെ തലസ്ഥാനായ ശ്രീനഗറിലാണുള്ളത്. കേരളത്തിന്റെ ചുട്ടുപൊള്ളുന്ന തെരഞ്ഞെടുപ്പ് ചൂടിലും കാശ്മീരിന്റെ തണുപ്പിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മെ ഉറ്റുനോക്കുന്ന ഒരാളുണ്ട് ഇന്ന് T21-നൊപ്പം. മറ്റാരുമല്ല, കാശ്മീരിന്റെ പുരോഗമന ജനാധിപത്യ പ്രസ്ഥാനത്തിന്റെ ഉജ്ജ്വലനായ പോരാളി സഖാവ് മുഹമ്മദ് യൂസഫ് തരിഗാമിയാണ്. CPIM കേന്ദ്ര കമ്മിറ്റി അംഗവും കുൽഗാമിൽ നിന്നുള്ള നിയമസഭാ അംഗവുമായ സഖാവ് തരിഗാമിക്ക് ലോകത്തിന് തന്നെ മാതൃകയായ കേരളത്തോട് ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറയാനുണ്ട്. കശ്മീരും കേരളവും പുലർത്തുന്ന ആത്മബന്ധത്തെക്കുറിച്ചും കപ്വ പ്രശ്നത്തിൽ CPIM നടത്തുന്ന പോരാട്ടത്തെക്കുറിച്ചുമെല്ലാം സഖാവ് തരിഗാമി T21-നോട് പ്രതികരിക്കും. അപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് എന്തായാലും T21-ന്റെ പ്രേക്ഷകർക്ക് വേണ്ടി നമുക്ക് സഖാവ് തരിഗാമിയെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യാം. Nearly 20 months have passed since the abrogation of Article 370, and the security lockdown and the communications blackout has been lifted, and the union government has succeeded in conveying that things have returned normally in Kashmir, and even using to claim that the abolition of special status is justified. How do you see the present situation here?
You see, as far as this assertion of the government of India that peace has been restored or normalcy is now prevailing in Jammu and Kashmir, that is contrary to the reality, is contrary to the facts. Just because there is calm, that does not mean it is normal. Just because people are shocked, continue to be under shock, that does not mean they have accepted what has been done to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, a historic state in 2019, with others, arbitrary, undemocratic. And in our view, it was a big constitutional fraud committed by the BJP government. Not only vis-a-vis the people of Jammu and Kashmir, of course, we were the first victims, but its implications are being felt now.
All over the country.
All over the country.
Yes.
Our party, CPIM, has warned them. Then both of us, Sitaram Yachuri, our General Secretary, and myself addressed the press conference in Delhi in September itself. We cautioned our countrymen that it's not just an assault against the rights, constitutional guarantees for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. It's not just assault against the people in J&K. It is a beginning of a bigger process of eroding the very basic structure of the Constitution of India. Now you look. Where is our federalism? Farmers are in agitation for the last 4 months. Prime Minister doesn't have time to even talk to them for a while. Earlier, the farmers were branded as Khalistanis, as usual by BJP. Any democratic protest for them is anti-national.
Yes.
So that's how BJP is working.
Whatever we speak against them.
Whatever we speak, even the question of criticizing the government, opposing the government, be it the issues of livelihood, be the issues of the ordinary democratic rights, be the issues of the farmers, our workers, our youth, who are crying for jobs.
Yes.
And how many, it's not the question of providing jobs.
Yes.
They have squeezed the very opportunities which were earlier existing for employment. Now it's not only creation of jobs, bigger process has started during this period of losing the jobs, job cuts. I am sure even the people of Kerala will be feeling the pinch of these policies, disastrous policies pursued by the Modi government. So we wonder. Only yesterday, 2 days before, Prime Minister visited Kerala and talking what? Not talking about the developmental issues, not talking about the employment issues, not mentioning the farmers' issues, not mentioning even the pandemic situation. But there is, you see, giving it a twist to the question of Sabrimala.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
as if this is the only substitute for hunger, for unemployment, for price rise, for everything. Right? This court has done whatever they thought to be done.
That to the Supreme Court.
That Supreme Court. It's not the government of Kerala.
Yes.
But I dare to say today, Mr. Prime Minister, come on, have a debate with us
Yes.
on the question of development and social welfare measures. Compare between Kerala, the present government's performance, and any government which is ruled by BJP in entire India.
That's a wonderful question.
I am just posing this question as a citizen of this country. Come on.
Yes.
Enough is enough. You can't hoodwink the people more.
Yes.
Our youth need jobs. They need our marginalized sections of the people. I was so happy yesterday when Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala said that we pledge to make Kerala, every citizen of Kerala must have home.
Yes.
Yes. So this is make a promise to the people of India, Mr. Prime Minister, like this.
And
These are the issues. Why are you dividing the people on the basis of religion? Why are you dividing my country, the country of huge, wonderful culture of tolerance, wonderful culture of moving together? Why are you destroying that? Kerala is an example where different people are living peacefully. You are afraid of. You are not, and I wish that should be a model for the rest of the country. But instead, our Prime Minister is trying to send this poison of divisive politics here in Kerala as well. But I feel assured that our people of Kerala will not allow the Kerala to get poisoned by divisive politics of people.
yes, we are very lucky people.
Yes.
Lucky people.
Kerala police recently booked state and national leaders of Muslim Youth League, the youth wing of Indian Muslim League, for misappropriating funds collected to provide legal assistance and help to the family of Kathua rape and murder case victim. And however, the said leaders claim that the case is politically motivated. Are such misappropriation of funds happening in the name of helping Kashmiris?
You see, the question is, first of all, you have reminded one of the saddest moments in our society which happened a few years before at Kathua.
Yes.
An innocent girl, a child was gang raped. And how painfully for every state. It's not an isolated incident. There are other cases happening elsewhere in the country as well. And we must realize, as a civilized society, these are painful incidents. Not only must be avoided, but this poison of such an unfortunate incident should not get repeated anywhere. Strong voices are required. And I am I appreciate the concern of the people of Kerala about this incident.
Yes.
I know I got phone calls from those different sections of the population. They were worried, they were concerned. But there is another part which needs to be noted down, that at that point of time, some sections who were associated with BJP tried to criminalize this criminal act. They tried to criminalize
Yes.
the victims, about the religion of the victim,
Yes.
about the faith of those who committed this heinous crime. We raised the question, crime is a crime. It doesn't have religion.
Yes.
Whosoever is the victim, today this girl is victim, tomorrow she doesn't have any religion. She is the daughter, she is the child for all of us. And Kerala people, along with many other people in the rest of the country, raised powerful voices. We appreciate those voices. CPM played a very significant role. And then, now, this situation, when the family was facing tremendous pressure, misery, some people tried to, first, one variety of fundamentalists tried to communalize it, on another variety tried to get money
Yes.
and not transferring that full amount to the
particular
family of the victim. And this has appeared in the press. We are not alleging, we are not accusing. This is somewhere the press is talking about.
Okay.
And you can well understand communalism of one variety or another variety. They are twins. They don't have any concern for the people's welfare. They don't have any consideration for the victims of rape. They don't have any human concern.
Yes.
But even now, yesterday I was just studying. I don't, much better. There was one person from BJP talking about when the forms were rejected after BJP somewhere in that area, and he was appealing them to vote for the Muslim. Wonderful. A combination of a person from BJP talking about appealing the people to vote for a Muslim. This is the collusion. This is how the people of Kerala must understand, and I am very hopeful they must be understanding much more than what we feel here. My point is, Jammu Kashmir is turned to be a bigger jail. And you are waiting for protesters here? It is like a prison. We have UAPA, that draconian law. We have another law here, Public Safety Act.
You have heard about it.
You have heard, we are victims here. You have heard only, but we are victims. Talk to the people here. They are afraid of, because what government of India has done elsewhere as well. Great fear. Get people frightened. Not that as free citizens of the country, we should be encouraged to talk freely, to listen to each other's point of view, to have a debate, to have a discussion, to express ourselves. Gone are those days.
We are not getting a chance.
It is not we only. Now you see elsewhere, intellectuals are being booked, students are being booked, and any criticism of the government policies, any opposition, democratic opposition to the policies pursued by the government are being considered as sedition. Now it has become a norm. Kashmir is much bigger a problem, where democratic rights and all that's a dream now for us. So that's why, you see, I appeal to the people of Kerala. We need from your side solidarity. We as the citizens appeal to the people of Kerala. We have big hopes about the people of great people of Kerala.
Thank you.
But at this moment, they must act and act decisively. We need a government like LDF in Kerala.
Yes, we have.
Give them a bigger chance. Send a message to us in Kashmir that there are people who are sympathetic, who are caring, who are virtually taking care of the plight of the citizens. That will be a big message for the people of Kerala. If the Kerala people reject the divisive politics of BJP, and if the people of Kerala reject the false claims of UDF as well, come boldly, openly in support of the wonderful policies pursued by the LDF government, and make a comparison between the previous governments and the government now being run by the LDF. I have an appeal to every section of the people of Kerala, whether they belong to this community or that community, one area or any other area. All the citizens must assert, and this will be a bigger message. India needs such message. India needs.
Yes, yes.
Not only people of Kerala, we have big hopes. We hope they will act. We will say, you see, the question is Kerala has to contribute. We have a lot of hope in this process of safeguarding the interests of the marginalized sections of the people of India, protecting the constitution, protecting the democratic rights of all the sections of our population, including Kashmir. That will be a big message if the verdict is much more decisive than what it was previously.
The Kerala government and Chief Minister had come out strongly against the abrogation of Article 370 and declared that CAA or NRC would not be implemented in our state, Kerala. The LDF had also organized a mass protest and united the people against the communal project of BJP and RSS. In the context of elections to the Legislative Assembly in the state, what is your message to the people of Kerala?
Kerala has taken the lead in many areas of concern of the nation, at the national level, at the country level. That's why it's not the question of, don't look whatever has been done or whatever has been claimed. That's not confined to Kerala. That has a greater impact in the rest of the country as well. I hope in coming days, and again with the new mandate of the present leadership of LDF, I'm hoping that there will be much bigger voices emerging from Kerala in defense of the Constitution of India, in defense of secular rights of the people of India, in defense of the federal structure of the country which is under attack today. I'm hopeful. And that is why I reiterate my appeal. Don't miss this opportunity.
No.
And use this opportunity with full decisiveness.
Sure.
We need a vote in favor of peace for the whole of the country. We need peace for the unity of our people in the whole of the country. And that's why this mandate will be a big message in that process.
That should be the first step.
Yes, a big step. Not only a first step, a big step. And I hope, very much I am hopeful. I don't have even iota of doubt that this will be a stronger message, and people of Kerala will decisively reject the politics of divisiveness, reject the policy of unnecessary compromising with communal forces like UDF has been doing, and we hope. And even pandemic situation and how Kerala government performed. And that is how the governments in the rest of the country must function. That's my dream. And we see in Kerala a bigger hope for the future for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade.
Thank you very much.